Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where at long last we are at peace. For like 5 seconds, because I think we've got at least 3 empires currently actively trying to attack us. So that's going to be exciting. We absolutely need to be working on getting our fleets standardized and good to go. Now, I would very much like to have Titans done by then, by the time we get into another war. But for now, we're going to standardize around not having Titans. So we're going to have 1 Titan per fleet, and this is going to bring us up to 300 eventually. But for now, here's the way that I want to do this. So we know that Stingers are 4 each, right? So what I want to do is I want to have the number of Stingers be somewhere around, well, let's see here. What's 280 divided by 4? 280 divided by 4 is 70. If we divide that by 4, we get 17.5. So I'm going to have this be 16 here, which apparently we can't do. Are these actually 8? Hang on. These are 8. Okay, I'm dumb. So in that case, we need to divide that by 2 again. So this should be 8.75. So we should have this for a number of Stingers. So that should be 8 Stingers in total. For our Harbingers are going to be 4 each. So we know that this should be 17.5. So for now, we'll just put it at 17. That'll be okay. And then for our Weavers, we know that that should be doubled again. So 7.5 doubled is, of course, 15. And then that should be 35 in total. So we actually have the right number of Weavers here, but we might have to delete some Weavers going forward. And then we should have 70 Maulers. We're off by 8, so let's go ahead and take this up by 1 amount of Stinger, like this. Okay, so that gives us a semi-standard amount. Now, it's going to be 16 for the Titans, so we'll have 4 extra. We'll probably put that into Harbingers. We'll see. But now we know what we need here. So we need this to not go to 170. This should go to 70. And our number of Weavers should be 35. We've got 21 right now. That's 30. And that's 35. So then Harbingers should be at 17. So we need this to be at 7. And then the Stingers should be at 9. Perfect. Like this. Now, we're going to be wildly above our naval cap, and I'm well aware of that. We'll get to that in a bit. So we'll bring this up to 70, and then our mature Weavers, or rather our Weavers in general, and we're going to have to change these around, I'm aware of that. I'm just getting this set up for now. So our Weavers in general are going to be, this is currently at 20, and then if we bring this up, this is going to be at 26, so we need this to be at 30. This is at 36 here. So this is the number that we need. For our Harbingers, this is going to be a grand total of 17 for the moment. And then 9 Stingers. Perfect. So once again, 9 Stingers, and we're going to have to make these as juveniles, and we want to get those going as soon as possible so they have time to mature, right? So then we're going to want to get some Stingers going here, and we've actually already got 5 here. So we need to bring this down. This needs to be at 8. There we go. So then the Harbingers are going to be at a grand total of 17. Hang on. There we go. This needs to be at 17. The Weavers are going to be up at 35. And the Maulers are going to be at 70, like that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go through these again. We need to remove all of these Maulers, and we need to add in juvenile Maulers, like this. Same with the Harbingers. We need to back these off, and we need to add in juvenile Harbingers. There we go. And then our mature Stingers here are going to be removed, and we're going to add in juvenile Stingers here. Like that. Okay, perfect. Next up, Maulers. Let's add in our juvenile Maulers here. This is going to be Weavers. So we'll add in juvenile Weavers like so. And then our mature Harbingers get removed because we need to add in juvenile Harbingers. This is a self-imposed restriction, but this is the way we're going to do it. And we're going to do juvenile Stingers here. Perfect, like that. Okay. Next up, I'm going to do stingers first here. So juvenile stingers, and then the harbingers. Perfect. And weavers. And we need to get rid of all of these weavers as well. There we go. So now our juvenile weavers go in here. Perfect. And then our maulers. Excellent. Starting up at the top here, we'll do our maulers. Juvenile maulers, they go right on in. The weavers, perfect. The harbingers are, of course, going to be next. And we'll do juvenile harbingers here. And then these mature stingers. So we need to get juvenile stingers. And there we go. So these are now ready to be reinforced. Look at how many resources we're going to need for this. We're actually pretty close on our number of alloys, but what we need to do right now is we need to find another world that has low amounts of resources. This is a good candidate. So I'm going to build one photosynthesis field. I'm going to build... we can't build others? Oh, we're lacking biomass. Okay. So that's understood. We want to get going immediately on the command bulb set. Sounds good. We'll bring it up to fast speed here. Oh, caravans. What do you got? No, not interested. Move along. We need to get some biomass rolling in here, and we're going to need to get some food generation going. That's going to be very important. Let's get an orchard forest going here, but we're waiting for the month tick in order to get this properly constructing over here. So we're going to get hollow mountains and photosynthesis fields just for level 1s of all of this. Now, I'm going to leave the Cradles of Rebirth for the moment, and I want to look for a good pollinating world. So, I mean... This is apparently, we haven't built our nutritious dells here. We should definitely do that. And we can also build our hollow mountains and photosynthesis fields here, but we want to get that orchard forest going for sure. Okay, what else we got? This one could be a pollinating world. This one we can definitely build another orchard forest on. What else do we have? I'm looking for like 9+. Here's a decent one, actually. So let's get a few orchard forests going in. We're trying to turn around our food, and we're trying to turn around our naval capacity right now. Yes, I know that we were working on getting these worlds terraformed. That's on hold for the moment because I think that we need to deal with potentiality of being attacked. So let's get all of these orchard forests built. That'll be fine. And we can also put in like solar mycolungs and an ore spine. I'd love to get... Maybe we should have command bulbs here. I'm doing it. Okay, so this is primarily going to be about food, but we are going to get command bulbs going in here for now, and this is going to be marked as a pollinating world. Because that will increase our resources produced by polysymbionts, which we really want that. So that'll be fine for now. We've got a lot of work that we need to do. No doubt about that. So these command bulbs are going to be done soon enough, and we're going to need these guys to get upgrades. We're going to need to reinforce. We need a lot of food overall. Food is our primary concern at this moment. I want to hop into our ship designer and check our ship designs at this moment. So level 5 is fine. That's not an issue. I don't think we need to do... we could definitely do an upgrade here. Jump organs... Yeah, we can definitely do some upgrades on these. So we want to go to autonomous neural implants, and the accelerated juvenile growth gland will be fine. So that's for the juvenile. Now we're going to want to bring this up for these as well. And this is the mature growth gland, which again is fine. And then for the elder, we're going to want to bring this up as well. So all of this goes up, autonomous neural implants, and then we're running caustic fluid at this moment, which seems absolutely fine. So we'll save that, and we are then going to also evaluate our weavers. So we've got these energy bursters right now, and I think these are probably fine. Boosts our evasion chance and sublight speed. But honestly, I think Weaver Booster Blasters might be a little bit better. So we could consider upgrading these, like so. There we go. And then we've got the plasma bioaccelerators. That's fine. We've got these enzymatic webcasters that are already level 2. So that all seems good. As far as our defenses go, I think we can drop the improved reactor booster here and go back to afterburners. Or we could drop the afterburners overall, which they don't do all that much. And we could just go for asteroidal carapaces like this. Now we're going to be a little bit short on power for our juveniles, but that's what going to 0-point metabolism is for. So that all seems absolutely fine. We go to autonomous neural implants, and exotic developmental pheromones seem absolutely fine. So we'll bring this on up, and we need to do this on all of these, and then we need to get these upgrading. So that's all seeming fine, and then the Elder here. And this is on support weapon fire rate, suppressor weapon fire rate, and ship weapons range. Seems great. Okay, we'll get that done. Perfect. Next up, Harbingers. So barb cannons we can't bring up anymore, but we do have Guardian snapper guns. Would we prefer these? Doing shield damage is nice. These guys penetrate shields, though. The real question, though, is the tracking, I think. I think we want the barb cannons. These are going to hang back. Neither of these are going to fire most times unless they're actually, like, shooting down incoming missiles, right? So that seems absolutely fine. Let's ditch the afterburners for now. And let's put in asteroidal carapaces. Cool. And we'll take this down to juveniles. And let's get all of this upgraded. Wonderful. So that's carrier and juvenile growth gland. Yes. Looks good. Next up, matures. What do we got going on here? So this all looks fine. And mature growth gland. Yep. Seems great. And now for elders, which are all about just maximizing the damage output. So strikecraft cooldown and ship engagement range. Yep, that seems perfect. Okay, so there's the Harbingers done. Next up are Stingers. Now, our Stingers do have these large quill batteries right now. These are designed to overwhelm shields. So plus 50% shield damage, minus 75% armor damage. So I want to have... The real problem here is that these are going to be designed to be engaging at long range, right? So they're artillery. These bioplasma accelerators, they're 45 to 80 range. The large quill batteries are only 80 range. Or rather, are only 40 range. That's actually lower than I expected them to be. We probably want to run Shard Gauss accelerators. So the damage here is 17.99, 16.41, but the range is much better. 45 to 100, and this would be 45 to 80. So those are a very, very similar sort of range. So we can do something like this, and then back here we can do something kind of like that, overall. I would prefer these to have, like, proper artillery on them. I suppose we could upgrade them to artillery overall, like this, and just completely overhaul them, and run mega cannons instead. So this does bonus shield damage, like that. So then these should be designated for taking down armor. But this is going to be sitting at 45 to 120 range, and we can see that these guys, they're going to try to stay at long range, firing the longest range weapons on the target. So 45 to 120, this is 0 to 40, 0 to 80, and 45 to 100. But we need something that does damage against armor. So I'm going to have these be lasers at this point, something like that. For our armor, we're going to just run asteroidal carapaces, I think. There's not really a reason to run too much else at this moment, so that seems fine. We could run auxiliary fire controls, though, actually. Theoretically, something like that. And then these are going to be a little awkward here because, yeah, they're going to be just set up kind of strangely. So here's what I'm planning on doing. 3 levels of shield for all of this. These are going to have a little extra armor on them. Although this one, yeah, it's going to have a little extra armor, basically no matter what. So something kind of like that is what we're looking at for the moment. So the Elder is fully upgraded over here. That seems good. This is a complete overhaul of how these stingers are working. So we need to do the matures, and this seems semi-fine anyway. Okay, this needs to go to artillery as well. This should be at artillery. Perfect. And then we don't have a slot here. So ship weapons range and tracking, or ship fire rate and tracking. We're going to take the fire rate. Okay, so we'll save that, and now we can do our defense platforms. I don't expect we need to do much here. Yeah, this should be relatively fine. We'll just do that. Okay, perfect. So now we need to get these guys all upgrading. And none of them are eligible to upgrade because we're missing a lot of the cost. It's the food. Gotcha. Well, we're going to buy in a bunch of food here. And that's, of course, going to be very expensive to get all of this upgraded. We're going to need more food than that, and we need more food production. We're working on the food production. So out over here, we're building an orchard forest, and I absolutely want to get these going, or just that. Yeah, that was the higher level upgrade. Gotcha.
Life stares in the void.
So we're working on our food production, and we're working on our naval capacity. For the moment, we're going to work on getting upgrades done on our ships here, but we're going to have a lot of completion that we need to get done. So orbital rings is now available. Alloy nanoplants, nano smelter, and alloy processing facilities. Okay, sure. I'm just wondering if there's anything here that we absolutely need right now. The answer is no, I don't think. We're going to go for the nano separators. That seems okay. So we've got this Titan going. I don't actually care about this particle beam. Maybe we want to change this. But to what? I don't really care about any of this. I mean, there's bioplasma cannons. Maybe. We'll swap over to bioplasma cannons. We'll evaluate it after that comes in. Okay, so that seems fine for now. We've gotten very little done so far this episode, and that's fine. I'm buying in more food. We see our food production is improving, so that looks good. Now, out over here, we can definitely get a nutritious undergrowth going in here. In fact, we can get nutritious undergrowths in all of these, and that seems good. Now, this is a pollinating world, but I want these to be command bulbs. We're going to need a lot more naval cap. So we'll get that going. That seems fine. This, of course, is a photosynthesis world at this point, but it's not really very specialized at all. And this is a pollinating world. This world has a lot that we can further produce in terms of food. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to get these going in, and that will produce us more food. You can see we've cut our food deficit in half now. And that's absolutely great. We need to get our food deficit fully taken care of. So checking through on other pollinating worlds, there's probably more upgrades that we can do to these. Yeah, so we can do things like this. Perfect. We can definitely put in a bloom loom here, which we're very interested in doing. And on this pollinating world, we'd love to get this going, but we need a planetary root nexus first. We'll get that underway. This is a pollinating world here. This is basically the same scenario. We need a root nexus here, but we're going to need to build a couple of biomes before we can do that. Okay. And yes, there are empires that are preparing to declare war on us. We are not surprised about this. This is very, very, very expected. And this is why we are taking active steps right now to improve our military strength. Now, the Agarian League is currently superior to us, but I strongly suspect that if we can get our naval capacity situation under control, we're going to be in a pretty good spot against them. So to that end, we need to get some bone garrisons going on here. And I don't want to put any resources anywhere right now that is not actively addressing our major issues at the moment. That is naval capacity, and that is also... Hang on. This might be a decent hunter world. It's got a lot of photosynthesis fields. But as I was saying, I only want to work right now towards boosting our naval capacity and boosting our food production. Those are the major issues at this moment. We're negative on volatile motes as well. I don't care about that for the moment. So we'll come back to that. That's relatively fine. So we've got some food production going in here. This is a crucible world. For now, that's okay. We've got a lot of alloys in stock at the moment, although we'll burn through them quite quickly. So I'm looking for potentially additional... This is a heart world? Oh yeah, this is our heart of the artichoke. That's fine. I'm looking for additional food production or hunter worlds at this moment. So we can't upgrade our bone garrisons. That's a bit of a problem, isn't it? It does feel like a problem. No doubt about it. But here's a pollinating world. We cannot build any of these. This requires a planetary root complex. So we're going to build communal biomes here, and that gives us the access to the planetary root complex. Here we can put in a planetary root complex, which will allow us to upgrade our orchard forests further. That'll be good. And any other pollinating worlds in this queue right now? The answer is there's this one. Oh, this definitely has some things that it can do. So we'll get 3 orchard forests going in here and 3 nutritious dells. We'll also upgrade our planetary root nexus here. So that'll be fine. We need to get our food production flowing a bit better. I'm going to sell off some energy credits here, and I'm going to buy in a little food, but the food price is quite high, and the energy credit price is quite low. So there's only so much that we can purchase at this moment, and that's understood. That'll keep us afloat for a little bit. But we got to get these upgrades going. The question is, when is the Agarian League going to declare on us? I'm not surprised that they're doing this. We also know that this station is likely not going to hold out too well. Actually, 61k is not bad. And this is the only real connection that they have other than this wormhole. So there's that. I want to pull our science ship over to explore this wormhole, but it's currently locked by the Agarian League, so we can't actually do that. That's unfortunate. So we know our fronts are going to be in Dokkan and in Ionides over here. So I'm going to get those upgrading to a Citadel. I don't know if they're going to get done in time, but we're going to spend some food on that. So that sounds fine. We definitely want to get a planetary root complex going on Vanico B3. That's absolutely something that we want here. So let's get all of this food production online. We can see that our food status is better. And I want to hop into our policies and edicts at this moment, because we have to take serious action here. And we actually don't need these on. I forgot that those were still on. We can turn those off. That will be convenient for us. But what we really want to run right now is we want to run farming subsidies, and we probably want to run... We're on Fortify the Border right now, which is fine. I think that's it for now. Just farming subsidies. So that's going to seriously increase our amount of food production by a dramatic amount. 50%, to be precise. So look at that. 1K. Perfect. So we're much better off resource-wise now. I want to get these guys producing, or rather upgrading. So we'll get those upgrades underway. That's going to eat up our food very consistently. If we buy in food here, you can see it immediately goes away. So that's to be expected. We just need to get these upgrades going as soon as possible and be banking up additional food. So we need more food than what we have here, and I'm going to sell some exotic gases here. I'm going to sell some dark matter. I'm going to sell some volatile motes, and I'm going to sell all of the consumer goods that we have. And we're going to put all of that into whatever food we can buy. And it's gone. That's not surprising. The real question is, how are we doing on getting these upgrades done? Because we need them done, like, yesterday. That's the thing here. We are improving relations with the Agarian League, but we don't expect this to actually slow them down at all. they're very likely to declare on us. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see about further increasing our production of alloys and food, as well as our naval capacity, because it's very clear at this time we're going back to war, and there's nothing we can do about it. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.